call my phone, text my phone or something. You know, especially it's the middle of the day. You know I'm calling you live, girl. Let me make me some coffee, y'all. Got to calm down because you know how it be with your kids. I'm missing some of my books. I know they in my room and on the floor. You trying to tell me I need to clean my room? I ain't gonna say nothing because you was my uncle, but I know that you missed the first part of the class when I said I'm gonna do it later. Don't put me on blast, Unc. Now I love you now. You trying to tell people I need to? I know. No, I'm just messing with you. Goodness, I just put some back. You weren't here. You missed that part. I was cleaning up a little bit. I'm cleaning and teaching. Cleaning and teaching, right? Listen. You said thanks. Like, hurry up and get it back to how I'm used to seeing it. Now, wait a minute now. Now, have you had your morning Joe or you had you some tea and a little bit of wacky dewacky or anything? Because you spazzing on. You ain't even been in here 5 minutes. Goodness gracious. Shoot. Can I? My class just got me. Give me a break. Give me a break. Goodness gracious. Boy, that's one thing. They gonna let you know, get that mess cleaned up. You're missing the shelf looking real raggedy. He done bopped me on my head. Came right in. Good morning. Clean that room. Get it done. I said, okay, I'm gonna do. He said, thanks. Listen here. Dang, huh? Because I was sure about you know what, though? Look at that. I was about to call my daughter and say something. Well, I text her, you need to be checking and this and that. And Aunt came right in and said, oh, we checking people? Oh, okay, well, while you at it, get that shelf together. What you put out, you'll get back. Because I just told her, quick, you need to check and see. And then he said, and you need to get your room clean. Okay, I'm happy to see y'all move because my bookshelf was all the way messed up. Listen, not you didn't came in and got on me. Goodness gracious. It's all right. We love you, Unc. You right, I do. I need to clean up. It's books right here. It's books right there. It's books in my room. It's books everywhere. I don't have a library attendant. It's only me. Give me a break. All right, back to class. Now that we have had all of these things happen. So now I got my juice, I got my coffee, and I got my water. Y'all ready? Crazy. Y'all ready? Okay. All right. So, because they got these things without his permission. For he thought it an intolerable thing that they should conquer and overcome their enemies by that power which he gave them. So, I'm going to say this. He says, all message you running from what God told you to do, knowing you ain't got no gas. I know you're tired. Listen, how about this? Okay. First of all, they were supposed to wait for God's go ahead. They didn't. Then when they got over there, okay, they didn't do what God told them to do. He said, all right, since you're going to go ahead and go anyway, unalive everything. They still didn't listen. Saul still didn't listen, and he only did half or a part of what God told him to do. Right? And then brought back the spoils and said, I'm going to get this to God. The things I got wrong, the things that I got from disobeying him, I'm going to give it to him. I'm going to use this as my sacrifice to tell him how thankful I am that he allowed me to be disobedient. Ain't that crazy? That's like somebody stealing from you and coming back and saying, you should be happy I took that. You're not happy that I stole from you? Why? What's wrong with you? I helped you. God said, I gave you a gift and you used it for the wrong reasons. And then you come back and tell me I should be happy when you try to offer me something that you gained from doing it the wrong way. Have you ever been so crazy? Yes, CERCA has. But this girl right here, like my cousin say, with the two thumbs. He said that's like stealing my TV and bringing me back the remote, this part. Or just telling me about the show you watched on my stolen TV that you took out my house while I'm looking at the wall. What? Thank you. Oh, some of y'all done did that before. That's the Coca Freckles. You done did it. You said, wait a minute. Yeah, exactly. Girl, listen. You didn't try to give God something that you attained from doing something he didn't even tell you to do. Interesting. That's like you asking somebody for something to eat and they go digging in trash at the bottom of the dumpster and put it on a plate for you. That's how God looks at that. He said, I'd rather you listen to me and do what I say than bring me something I don't want. You ever had somebody, we didn't talk about this, try to kiss on you and you already know they been somewhere else? You want it? Dad, from now on, I'm gonna have to be approved, pre-approved our lessons because, huh? They tried to give you some love, and you already know they just giving it out. Oh, okay. You want that love from them after they just loved on somebody else right before they saw you. Hello. You can smell the person on them. Do you want it? You want the sludge that be in the bottom of the dumpster outside to be your drink? You said like saying I want tacos and you bring me a Big Mac. This part. But think about it. God was grieved, which means also he was disgusted. So if you say, ooh, I'm hungry, what you got in there? And I go dig to the bottom of my trash and bring you what we ate 2 days ago and put it on the plate and say, here, this is what you can have. When I got cabinets full of food, you said I'm preparing tacos right now, and that's what I ate before I went to sleep, taco salad, which is crazy because my sister was eating it while I was talking about the situation that's going on, and she had made taco salad. I said, I got some ground chicken here, might as well, but I ain't got no Doritos, so I'm about to make some, like, basically, what you call that, like rotel, and did. And then I was better, too. I think I needed the protein. I don't know, because I woke up feeling a little bit better today. That's funny. Okay. But for real. You said we have tacos tomorrow. My son is cooking. Hilarious. You said grieve to cause. You said to cause to suffer or distress. Exactly. I understand, but you're gonna see. Let me ask you a question. Has something stressed you out so much that it made you sick? Huh? You couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Even the thought of being around that person might have made you physically ill. That's suffering, distress. You said absolutely. Huh? You said, yep, my kids before. Okay. Back up off of them. Made me not want to eat. Right. You said, yes. You heard me talking to Dad this morning. Interesting. You hear me? Stuff can make you sick to your stomach. And you're like, why would you do that? Why would you? You can't even look at that person that's saying, because I give you my best and you give me what's left. I'm going to say it again. I give you my best and you give me what's left. And you know who we do that to every day? Our dad. He said they needed to back up off of me, but Dad had made this whole situation so much better. That part. Huh? You ever gave your best to somebody and they gave you what they had left over? Did you want it? You said, and stressed me so bad playing my game. I hit a nasty losing streak, had to go for a walk. Listen, you said I got sick and nauseated, lightheaded on my wedding day. God was trying to tell me to divorce. Interesting. Interesting. That's funny that you say that. Because I just looked at the picture of how far my ex-husband and I were standing when we was doing our vows. And baby, I had my hands clamped together. His hands was down his side. But baby, I was holding my hands like I don't want to give him nothing. And then I started to feel like I was going to pass out. Felt real flush. That was God letting me know. I felt fire, right? Just hot. Well, you know, rage burned in me a lot when I was in that marriage. I was always angry and irritated and hungry because I was too stressed out to eat. Crazy. I always had my face turned up. When he talked, I've turned my face up. The only time my face wasn't turned up is when he wasn't at the house. Other than that, my face was turned up. Sad. He turned my smiles upside down, I'll tell you that. You said, I heard no loud in my head and still did it. That part, they lie, manipulate still, and I'm praying for them, but my heart hurt from trusting them still, of course. But that part of that is what you call it? God said we was going to be betrayed, lied to, abused. You said that's a really uncomfortable place. Yes, it is. Very. But think about it. All God wanted Saul to do after everything that God gave him was to listen. Do you ever feel like that? I don't want all these gifts. I don't want the fake praise. I need you to listen to me. I don't want you telling me what you think I want to hear. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. I don't need all of that extra. I'm telling you what I need from you, and you still not going to give it to me. Would you want to listen to that person talking to you? Would you really want to even hear anything, and you know for a fact that they're gaslighting you? Would you? He said, looking back on my life, that nauseous pain was too much for me to go through, and knowing that's how God feels about my sin makes so much sense now. Listen, I meant to say divorce now. It was a horrible marriage. He would leave me and the kids, then sneak back in and be hiding in the house ready to fight. I know all about that. He wasn't in closets, was he? We might have been dating the same kind of spirit. Listen here. What is that? I don't know why they do that. You in the wrong, and now you want to fight? What is wrong with you? Are you crazy? Baby, listen, thank you, God. I never understood, because his dad was a preacher. Mom prayed every day, and he was just destructive. We just talked about that it's in the bloodline sometimes. You said exactly, I don't understand that with me either. And that ain't got to be a spouse. That could be a friend. That ain't got to be the person you married to or dating. That could be your sister. They always on some BS, okay? And then they want to come in and act like it's your fault and get all crazy with you. Nigga, you offended me. Oh, you mean like how we do God? Because we being offended him with our sin. And then we try to sneak back in. Hey, Dad. And then when he get ready to say something, because I don't feel like it, because I really don't even want to deal with it today, because I really just don't have. He like, whoa, you do realize I ain't forgot about what you just did. I mean, I'm letting you slide, I'm letting you back in, but hold on now. Be cool. We do God the same way. We sneak out. When we get caught, we sneak back in and we act like we got an attitude and be mad at him, so that way he can't say what he really need to say to us. Say you don't. You said he would take the air conditioning unit out of the window. That's how he got in, and I'm so grateful I have peace of mind now. That's why you don't go to church. That's why you don't pray. That's why you won't turn on your gospel music right after. We're not going to talk about it. Huh? No. He says our sin stink in his nostrils, right? He said, I fell off and then jumped back in. Did he say that our sin stink in his nostrils? If something stink, what's the face you make? What is that? What is that? Go check that trash. What is that? What is that? You said toot it up? No, come on. You said put myself through pain marrying a man God told me I'd regret. I was a married single mother. Girl, what did you just said? Know all about it. It's thanks to him, and we know it now. So when Saul tried to offer these lambs and rams and bulls and stuff, it stumped to God. Because you sinned against me to get it. He said, I don't want that. That's like your spouse. Okay, Lord forgive me. You know what? I might need to say this carefully. Yeah, all right. Hold on. Hey girl, where you at? Because I know this crowd of people. I know how they move over. Okay, let me get my stuff. I got my warrior clothes on today. I'm not afraid to use it. This is for my protection. But I still got this. I ain't scared. Okay? Okay. I'm not scared. Let me get my twist spray. Y'all know my knees. I got to. You said you gonna say something foul. He doesn't want to sacrifice. I just want to make sure. So what Saul did is like you telling your spouse, I need you to help me financially, and so can you please get a job? And they say no. And then they go get another secret spouse and go get some money from them and then bring it to you and say, I got the money. You need to be happy. Mm-mm. That's what you'll be doing. Huh? Would you want it? You said, oh, damn. No, I'm not going to get up and get no job. I'm not going to start no business, but I go sling this meat and get what you need. That's not what I asked for. And you went outside of our covenant to get it. You think I want that? Huh? We in Josephus chapter 6. Book 6, chapter 8. So they could have put in an application because God had a job waiting on them, but they wanted to take the easy route and draw another person into sin to come bless you. Huh? And just put your marriage in jeopardy. The same way that God gave Saul a direct order, told him what he wanted from him. Saul went and did what he wanted to do and then brought back accursed things to the kingdom. You said OnlyFans. I don't know nothing about it. I ain't never even been over there, but I get what you're saying. But true. You got a whole spouse and everybody know what you got under the hood. It's crazy to me, but hey, do what you do. I ain't knocking nobody. Everybody gotta. You said my spouse would literally do that. He would lay up with an old woman from work, do something strange for a little change while her husband was at work, and bring home the tips, knowing he was a cheater. Oh, never mind, Nisi. I'm just gonna. Yep. I'm gonna just put that right there. You said those cursed things open up way too many doors and do. I know y'all thought I was just using that. It's folks that didn't live it. Hello. Hello. Girl. With some people teach from experience. You said this guy legit look for girls who need a male content creator that are just 18. Wow. Listen. How many of y'all learned something new over here? But you learned something new about yourself too by learning through other people's stories and these little, You know, things that we have going over here. You learn a little bit. Because when we look at people and see that they do it, we be like, ugh. But when we look and see that we do it to God, we be like, ooh. So it's when they do it, but it's, oh God, please forgive me when you do it to God. Huh? You hear me? You said I learned something from every class. But you get it? Because if a human do it to another human or us, right, cringe is cringe. Come on. So you don't cringe when you do it to God, but you cringe when you see somebody else do it or they do it to you. It's when it's them. But when you figure out you did it to God, it's why it ain't You said, girl, I wish y'all only knew how many bells y'all been ringing these last 2 days. Listen. Right? So this is why God be saying, don't judge them, because you probably did. Maybe you didn't do it to a human, but you did it to me. You tried to bring me things that I never even wanted you to touch and tell me how good it is. Tell me that I should bless it. Tell me that I need to grow it and be mad at me when I say I didn't even want you to have it. You hear me? I didn't even want you to have it. You think I want you over there getting stuff the wrong way and then trying to bring it back to me and tell me I need to be happy? He said, I don't even want it. If your person, your kid can't leave the streets and they steady bringing you stuff, you like, baby, I would rather have you on the right path. I don't want you to keep putting your life in danger for things that don't matter. I can't replace you. I can always get another purse. I can always get another house. I can always get another car. I want my child back. I don't want to have, I want my sleep back, because as long as you live in this life, I don't get to rest. Excuse me. I'm checking the news, seeing if it's you. I want my baby back. I don't need a new car, baby. I don't need that. I want my baby back. You hear me? You said, "Ooh, not you threw a tomato at me while I had my shield down." Laugh out loud. I thought we were having a heart to heart. Brianna. You said, wait, auntie, hold on. I wasn't ready. You said everything I put my parents through. Come on. Come on. You said, facts, I prayed for a marriage. He told me not to enter. Listen, I know, girl, did we all? Shoot. I should have known when we couldn't find no ministers that knew me. They was like, yeah, no, not going to touch that. I said, what? I'm trying to do the right thing. They said, yeah, you might want to just wait a little bit. He said, who's cutting onions? This is so real. Listen. I should have known then. I should have known. And these people would like honor marriage and everything. And they was like, nope. You said that hits hard today. I want my baby back. Listen. Hey, Pumpkin. You said, turned my nose up at myself in this moment. Uh-oh. Ain't that crazy how it works? You got to be disgusted with yourself first. You said, I'm planning my escape now. Listen. Hi. Hello. All right, here we go. You said, and then that he himself should be so grossly despised and disobeyed by them. He said, y'all don't even consider me. Y'all don't even think of, like, do y'all, I mean, have you ever despised somebody? God said, I thought you loved me. But the things that you're doing, it shows me that you despise me. You disobey me. You don't respect me. You don't. You don't value my kingship in your life. You act like I don't mean nothing. You act like I'm a joke. You act like I'm... Huh? Do your actions show that you despise God? Because when you despise somebody, you don't care. You don't care how your actions affect them. You don't care if they happy with you or not happy with you, right? Somebody that you despise, you actually care about their opinion? No, you don't. You don't even like them. Right or wrong? If you despise them, then turn your stomach to think about them. No. Every time somebody mention their name, your face gonna be turned up. If you despise a person, God said y'all act like y'all, hold on, y'all act like y'all despise me, y'all disobey me, you don't listen. You said exactly how they disrespected and disregarded me. I ain't realized that's how I did that. Ellington. Hold on. And this is the crazy thing. He didn't even tell you to go over there. You understand? He told you not to mess with it. And then you will turn your face up at God and say, why you let this happen to me? I can't believe I'm mad at God. Huh? When you did it to yourself, you didn't wait on the answer. You didn't wait for him to say yes or no. So now you got an attitude with God and act like you don't got to listen to him and you don't got to do nothing because he don't give you your way when you want it. Been there, CERCA. Hello. So grateful as of the other day that I didn't get my way. You don't want to be held accountable. You said because you didn't listen. Come on now. The person that you used to despise, why did you despise them? And you don't got to go into detail. Did they hurt you? You don't got to say what they did. Did they hurt you? Did they deceive you? That type thing. Why did you despise them? What made you look at them and be like, they didn't treat you right? Good job, Sarah. Huh? You said, I was jealous of the relationship she had with her mom. Interesting. They were untrustworthy. Interesting. Betrayal. Interesting. A liar and a cheater. Interesting. Betrayal just hurt me physically and mentally. Okay. They put you through pure hell. Now, can I ask you a question? Were you supposed to be in that situation? Deception, manipulation, and betrayal. Trusted others they barely knew over me, knowing them 6+ years. They betrayed me, hurt me physically, emotionally, and mentally. They abandoned me, attempted to unalive me. Interesting. Were you supposed to be over there? You said manipulated me, put me through hell for 11 years. No, you wasn't supposed to be over there. Nope. Lives together and had kids out of wedlock. Probably not. Nope. Okay. You said I was never even supposed to be with him. God gave me 3 dreams screaming no, and I ignored him. Nope. And God gave me a big no, and I still married him. Okay. You said only for a moment to have my son and try to make what wasn't meant to work. Meant to be work. You said, nope, Dad had me run, but I was... You said it was a daughter-in-law, or however it works. You said all of what everyone else has listed. I love you, girl. You said no dad told me to run, but I was being hot in the tail. Uh-oh, she treated me like I was the lesser of all her kids. Interesting. You said God showed me the red flags, blinded by hope and potential. Interesting. So you refused to see the truth, and so you were deceived yourself? Been there, done that. Because God told you the truth. Did he not? Being naive, I fell on my face. Okay. Did God tell you the truth? You deceived yourself because you wouldn't listen. CERCA. You said yes, just stayed too long. Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. Crazy. Oh, hold on, y'all. Okay. So we going back here. It says disobeyed by them that a mere man that was a king would not bear. So God said, you're asking me to deal with stuff that you wouldn't even deal with. Huh? Hello? Did you hear it? He said you asking me to put up with stuff you wouldn't even put up with from a regular person. From a human. Huh? He said, Saul, you're a natural king. If one of your servants did what you did to me, you wouldn't even you wouldn't even do it. Huh? God said, I'm the king of all kings. And you're asking me to deal with something that you, a natural person, wouldn't even tolerate from another person. Hello. God got feelings. That's where we got ours from. How many of you want to keep dealing with a person that don't listen to nothing you say? If God did me how I do him, I wouldn't even be here to talk about it right now. That part, girl. Huh? Sorry, y'all. I got to stretch out this rotator cuff because maybe this thing right here be hurt because I be sleeping too hard. If a person never listens to you, and we're going to say an adult, we ain't going to use children. If you got to keep telling an adult the same thing that's supposed to be your partner, supposed to be your friend, how often are you going to want to be around them? You let them come to your house, you say, hey, don't cuss in front of my kids, and they just potty mouth. And they say, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Then they come over tomorrow. Start the same thing. How many days you going to give them to do it? Huh? If you tell your friend, if you ain't got no money, please do not call me so we can go out to eat because I don't have money to pay for you every time. How many times you gonna keep going out to eat? You gonna answer the phone and say, yeah, we could go to Chili's tomorrow. And then they say, you sure you got it? Oh, yeah, I'm sure I got it. Then every day you get to the table at Chili's or whatever restaurant y'all go to and they don't got no money. After they done ate real good. Not questioning how much money you got in your pocket or if you even have it to buy. You might have had to rub 2 nickels together. How many times you gonna keep going over there? How many times you gonna keep going with them to a place like that? You said, if I can be honest, back then I'll just brush it off, but now very low tolerance. I hate repeating myself. You realize how much time you waste doing that. And the devil will keep you in that space. You said the first and the last date we had. Hilarious. I'm just saying. How many times you gonna keep? You said all my 20s. Interesting. Hello? Thank God that he is who he is. But I guarantee you, if we treated God the way, if God treated us the way that we treat him, right? Or he allowed people to treat us that way, it'll be a lot different. God is tired of us giving him things he didn't even want us to touch. That's like a little baby. You tell them somebody dogged and pooped in your yard. And you say, no, don't touch that. No, that is nasty. Put it down. And they pick it up and bring it to you and sit it in your lap. What you gonna do? And I'm talking about fresh boo-boo. What you gonna do? You gonna be disgusted? You gonna be irritated? You gonna be grossed out? Like what happened? I'm talking about fresh. Huh? You said I'm a cry. Oh, hell no. You said that's like Samson offering God the honey from the lion corpse. He wasn't even supposed to touch this part. Same thing. Same thing. And Saul trying to sacrifice sheep. This is what I'm saying. There are some things we offer God. He don't even want it. Because we ain't even supposed to be over there. And we will ask God to bless a place that we not even supposed to be in. Standing in the wrong place. Talking about I'm going to grow right here. He said you won't. Ain't nothing going to grow. As a matter of fact, everything about to die off. You said I fight kids. I'm not playing though. I do. You ain't got to put the just playing. We fight kids around here and do. They'll fight you. Slap the mess out you. And then be looking like, what you gonna do? You gonna hit me? Yes, actually I am. Hello. And will they know what they do? And do. It's a real thing. Listen. And we'll fight a kid. All right. It says, he therefore told Samuel the prophet that he repented that he had made Saul king. You can make God repent for giving you power, for giving you wealth, for giving you beauty, for giving you favor. God was sad. God was sad that he gave Saul influence and wealth. That's crazy. You make God repent, he be like, man, I wish I wouldn't have ever even blessed you. Look how bad you treat people. Look how nasty you talk to people now that I made you the boss. I wish I would have never did that. I wish I would have never gave you those raises because now you're full of pride. You said repented to feel regret or contrition to change one's mind. Yes. God give you a spouse because you begged for one and then you treat them like dirt. God said, I wish I wouldn't even blessed you with my daughter or my son because you wasn't even going to treat them right. Why? I wish I wouldn't have gave it to you. Have you ever gave your children something or gave somebody something and it was of value and they treated it like it was nothing, didn't take care of it, didn't try to keep it up or nothing, just, it ain't nothing to me. How'd that make you feel? You said that's what God said about the human race. He wished he never made us. Listen. You said my time, they didn't respect it. And how did that make you feel? Huh? You said sad and mad at the same time. Interesting. You said regret and angry. Interesting. Is there something that you think that you made God regret that he gave it to you? He said, I just talked to my kids about this morning, about the same thing, taking care of what God blesses you with. Come on. Because he didn't have to give it to you. A second chance, nothing. The favor he gave you at your job, he didn't have to. But God gave you a new position. Now you want to talk down and talk crazy to folks. Well, why did he give you the position then if you wasn't going to do right by it? He gave you a raise. You waste more money. And some people I had sex with, I wish I didn't. I wish I could take it back, but I can't. Listen here. I love my kids, but amen. We're just going to move on. All right. Here we go. While he did nothing that he commanded him, but indulged in his own inclinations. God said, I blessed you. Listen, I blessed you with the kingdom. And once you got it, you didn't do right by it. You did everything you wanted to do and did nothing that I told you to do. Huh? How many of you said, God, if you get me out of this and put me in this situation, I won't come back to this. And before you know it, you was back. Got you a new house, got you a new car. You said step on my toes as soon as I got on. Sorry. Me, and I still cry and did it. Oh, okay. Me too. You said listen. Huh? Put you in an even better situation than you was in last time, and you said, no, it's too good over here. I think I like the garbage. I think I like things that are dying. I think I like things that are decaying. I think I like things that stink. This is too nice over here. I don't know nothing about this. Because when you go back, that's what you're asking for. To go back to decaying things and dying things and dark things and sad days and confused days and angry days. I'm cool. I don't want none. You said, God, please help me out of the mess that I created. I promise I won't do this again. Me haven't done it again. Hey, God, it's me again. Listen, you said, really, though? Why the sign on the call? You said chaos, but I didn't know my words back then. Listen. You hear me? You said confused, relaying the same message every day. Talking about the same thing over and over and over and over. Whew. When Samuel heard that, he was in confusion. The prophet said, God, wait a minute. You said you don't want nothing to do. What you mean, Dad? You don't want nothing to do with Saul. You made him the king. Remember, you chose him. You sure, Dad? Samuel was confused. He said, whoa, you had me anointed. You didn't change your mind? Really? You said that truckload of truth hit like a Mack truck. Listen. Ooh, cave your whole chest in. It says, and began to beseech God all that night to be reconciled to Saul. Samuel said, God, just give me one more chance. Just one more chance, God. Just give me one more chance. I know you done gave me a lot of them, but just give me one more chance. Just one more. Just one more. One more. Not one more. One more. Just give me one more chance. Huh? Somebody stayed up all night praying for you to make the right decision. Huh? For God to give you another chance. But you don't want to get to the place where God was with Saul. He said, I've given you everything to be great, and you keep running to the wrong things that shame me, that show you despise my laws and my ways and who I am as the Almighty. Hello. You make all the times I saved you null and void. You make all the times that I answered you null and void. You don't want me. You want what I gave you. You want the power and the influence that I gave you. You don't want me. You want what I give to you so that you can turn around and slap me in the face with it. Give a nigga a car. Ah! He'll show you what he feel about you, huh? Can't pick you up from work on time, but he sure was at that meeting ready to go. Standing up, attention. You say, huh? Can't answer the phone that you got turned on for him, but he'll text you real crazy on the phone. You pay for it. Who said that? Hello? You buy her a purse and put a wallet and put some money in the wallet, and then you find out she at the mall with a real nigga. You said, huh? And didn't get you nothing. Not even a sandwich. Not even a cinnamon roll. Nigga, not even a toothbrush. But she spent all the cash and she back asking for some money. Huh? Didn't even put no gas in the car that you bought. But they rode everybody around there but you. You didn't have to get a ride from work. You said, huh? Don't never show up on time. But I always got time for everything that ain't right and ain't you. Hello. You said can't take me to the hospital in my car, but can make it to the gym with his bro. Girl, listen, I'll be right back. I ain't gonna do too much today. I'm about to go here in a minute because I feel it getting aggressive on the other side of that. God give you a job to give you some peace. You become the manager and make everybody else's life a living hell. Huh? God give you a home and you make it a whorehouse. God give you a car and you make it a whole chariot. Huh? Hello? You say, God, I need a job. I need a job. I'm in management, God. He say, okay, I'm gonna give you a management job. I need peace, God. I need to be able to pay my bills. And then you go to work and dangle everybody else's job in front of them. Huh? Knowing. You said, what? Hey, Bunker. God allows you to lose weight for your health and you put it in jeopardy by becoming promiscuous. What good was it for you to lose the weight if you was still going to be putting your health in jeopardy? He let you get the surgery that made you feel better about yourself because you wanted to be healthy, and then you started participating in very unhealthy situations? Did you really want to be healthy? Or did you just want to look good in your sin? Which one was it? You got your hair implanted, sir, because you wanted to feel young again, and then you start doing stuff that you did in your youth. Maybe he should have let you keep on looking like George Jefferson. At least you was faithful to your wife then. Hello. You acted your age. You said, and they get mad. Oh, when I refuse to give them anything but a drink of water or a plate of food, don't play in my face. You said silliness. I'm just saying. Huh? We gonna talk about it? God gave you more money and you started to use it to control people, like to buy them. You go after the women and men that you wouldn't have been able to talk to if you didn't have no money, and treat them badly even though they've done nothing to you. Huh? Why he bless you with the money then? You get what I'm saying? God was sad that he blessed Saul. He was sad that he chose him, because once he gave him all those wonderful things, Saul was like, yeah, I'm about to do what I want to do. He listened until he got what he wanted and where he wanted to be. How many of us have done that? And then tried to say, God, I'm going to just give you this. And God said, I don't want nothing because I gave you everything. And you didn't listen. You hear me? You get me? He gave you the rope. What you do with it? You said, why you say that so loud? Never mind. I'm going to just keep reading. Okay. Here we go. So, I told you I was feeling it over here. I know what I felt. I know what I felt. I know when I feel it. I know. Okay, here we go. So, we're going to skip over here. To chapter 8. Y'all can go finish reading that if y'all want to, because we didn't been in here forever today, which is crazy. You said, let it fall, let that rope fall. Listen. That part. So now we about to look at what happens when you go your own way. When God is giving you every single thing that you need to succeed, and you take it and you use it for things he don't want you to do. That could be your body, your money, your career, your house, your car, everything. Your children. God gives you children, you use them to manipulate their other spouse. You wrong. God give you money and you try to control women and men with your money. Do what I say or I'm not going to give you nothing. Give me a little something and I give you a little something. Hello. Oh, but God blessed you with that. Oh, okay. Huh? God gave you a car because you was tired of walking, and then he finally honored your request, and every time you turn around, you somewhere you ain't supposed to be. He should have left you walking. That's what it means when he said, I repented that I even did that. Huh? It's a real thing, y'all. God has blessed us with some stuff, and we just turn around and we slap him in the face with it and tell him he's supposed to be okay when he didn't even have to give it to us in the first place. You said I got the lumps for that in a blind you said I'm in a blind Nate. You said state set it off kind of. Oh okay. I'm in a blind Nate. Right. Set it off kind of situation. Right. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Got her glasses. You said all that shaking up. Oh okay. I mean, if you want to keep on using the influence and the things that God has given you for the wrong, just say that. But don't get mad at nobody when he say, yeah, come on and give me that. Cough that up. Because who remembers the two things that I asked you in the beginning of the class? Huh? Yeah, I'm starting to get a headache. You said breaking my heart that God had to repent, right? What did I ask you in the beginning of this class? Huh? What did I ask you to write down? Tell me. You said now I'm Uber and I learned to leave Jody alone, girl. That part. What did I ask you to write down? At the top of your paper. What did God ask you to let go of? What did he ask you to unalive in your life? And what will you do when he takes it from you? What will you do when he take it from you? And why did he take it from you? Make more sense now why he did? What God told you to let go of and you haven't. What will you do if he takes it from you? And why did he take it? Are you understanding a little bit more today as to why he did? Why he said hurry up and let it go and don't wait? Huh? Because it's going to be catastrophic if you don't. Not just for you, for everybody around you. Because if Saul would have let the king of the Amalekites live, there was something that was going to grow. And it was going to be devastating for that kingdom and maybe other kingdoms. So sometimes when God is asking you to let something go, to don't take part in it, guess what? It's not just to protect you, it's to protect everybody around you. How many people have went on a spree, and because they couldn't have the daughter, they unalived the mama, the son, the cousin, the boss, the man at the store, and then unalived themselves. Everybody around. But if that one person would have got rid of that person, then everybody else wouldn't have been affected. But because they couldn't get to their target, everybody else will do. And there was warnings to let that person go, get them away. And they probably told you, I'm going to hurt your family. The first time they said it, you should have believed them. You said, yep, save me from much heartache and pain. Listen, hey, learn to ice my lumps and sit down somewhere. I'm trying to tell you, one bad apple spoiled a whole bunch of show, dude. You said, happened to my little cousin last year. Listen, it's a real thing. Sometimes God be asking us to let stuff go and we don't, and it causes the people around us more hurt than it causes us. Hello. Or we have to see our family or our friends or whoever it is broken down because we didn't listen. How many children have suffered for their parents' decisions and had to go through years and decades of pain and turmoil because mama can't get it together and daddy can't get it together, or they keep allowing people to come and hurt us or be in our house and be in our space. Now we got to be hungry or on the floor or whatever else it is that they wouldn't have had to deal with if that person wasn't around. You hear me? Hey. Saul was getting ready to cause everybody shipwreck because he wouldn't listen, and God said, okay, I'm not going to have that. So I'm going to take the kingdom from him because he ain't doing right with it, and I'm going to give it to somebody else. Has God ever given a position at your job to somebody else because you kept calling in? You kept lying about you being sick and whatever else, and finally they just let you go when they put somebody else that you probably trained right in your job. You said it happened literally a year ago. Unfortunately, he's still in jail because of his defiance. Listen, it's a real thing. You said yes. Okay. All right. Well, now I need y'all to turn to chapter. Well, we still in book 6, but we're going to chapter 8. I don't know what it's going to be in y'all page, But we're going to verse 166. So book 6, chapter 8, verse 166. I don't know what it looks like, but the head of this book is how upon Saul's transgression of the prophet's command, Samuel ordained another person to be king privately, whose name was David. That's where we're going, but that's not where we're going to start reading it. So it should be just 1 or 2 pages over. Okay? I think it's 2 page flips for me where we going. Well, actually, it's just, yeah. Should be 1 or 2 page flips. Not too far. But I don't know how everybody books set up. Okay. So we going to verse 166. It should start, so Samuel, when he had given these admonitions, went away. That's what you're looking for. So Samuel, when he had given him these admonitions, went away. That's what we're looking for right there. Put your hand up when you found it. You got it? You got it, Auntie? Since I've been drinking tea, I ain't been drinking as much coffee, and I feel like this is a caffeine headache coming. But we gonna see. Okay. Okay. It says, but the divine power departed from Saul. So first he lost his kingdom, right? First, God took the kingdom from him. He said, you're not king. I already anointed another king. I'm going to put somebody else in your place since you don't want to do it. And then the second thing that happened was God's divine power that was resting on Saul removed from him. Huh? We can say favor in our day. You can keep on doing something and God can take the favor off your life. This when you start hearing all the no's and stuff that you know normally would have went easily. It's not. God said, because you're not listening. You didn't listen. You did what you wanted to do, and now you have to deal with the consequences of that. He is a forgiving God, but God does get to a point where he's like, I'm not going to keep fighting for you to do the right thing. I'll use somebody that wants to. But I'm not going to let you rule over my stuff. I'm not going to let you keep the position as a manager. Now, I might not take your job, but I'm going to demote you. You can stay, but you won't be in the position you were in before. I honestly believe in marriage that some spouses, they use their finances to abuse their spouse. I think this is why some of their careers hit rock bottom. Because God gave you your career to take care of your family, but you use your career to hurt your family. You use your career to control your family. You use your money to control them. And then that's why he knocked the wind, like the legs off their chair, and then they just be humbled. Real quick and real fast. And sometimes he don't make that spouse come back to you either. Because you've already shown that once you get in a place of power, you're going to abuse it. Huh? So you've been trying to get the manager position. Maybe God know your spirit ain't right. It's not that he don't want to give it to you, but he know you only want it so you can throw your weight around. That's different. That's not wanting to be a good steward over what God has given you. You want to have kids so you can have slaves. You don't want kids because you want to treat them right. You want to be able to make somebody go make you a sandwich because you just don't want to do it. Oh, okay. And then God give you the kids and you mistreat them. No, he don't like it. All right. And removed to David, who upon this removal of the divine spirit to him began to prophesy. So immediately, once God said, okay, I took the kingdom, now I'm taking my spirit, I'm taking my power, I'm taking my favor, and I'm putting it on David. Not only did you lose the kingdom, but you lost your favor too. Because the favor came with the obedience. Huh? The ability to walk in rooms and get what you need out of there, it came with obedience. Because I'm the one that told you to go in the room, but then you get in the room and you want to act like you put yourself here. You the reason why you sitting at that desk, like God didn't place you there. Like God didn't send you your spouse. You got them. You didn't get them. He sent them. Listen, you said I didn't realize. You said side pieces never make them happy. Listen, you said I didn't realize that until I got here to where I lost my house back in 2016. I was thinking it was all me and not giving God his glory for what my family and let people destroy it. Interesting. You said I was talking about that today. Listen, God knows. That's the thing. If you use anything that God gave you to manipulate people, he gonna take it. Your body, your whatever, he'll take it, 100%. And then the person still might end up with whatever you thought you was getting off. Man, listen. You said I was talking to a friend about that. Listen. Don't abuse the stuff God give you. If God is giving you the ability to influence people, you better influence them in the right way. Because he'll take your influence. He'll take your favor with the boss. He'll do all of that. I'm trying to tell you. Let him give you something and you use it to hurt people. He will take it away quickly. Use it to make somebody else feel lower than you. He'll take it. He said one of the reasons why people memorize the scripture so they can use it against people this far and still never, ever, ever, ever get the meaning of the scripture, which is scary. All right. Here we go. But as for Saul, some strange and demonical or disorders came upon him. Hold on. So as soon as the favor and the Spirit of God leaves me, or as soon as I keep walking in the wrong way and going and doing what God wants me to do, demons come to torment me immediately. Huh? My peace is immediately gone. You ever did something and regretted it instantly and all the way home from whatever it is that you just did, now your mind is in torment? Huh? Look what it say now. Hold on now. Right here. Let me go back. I'm sorry. So some strange things started to happen, like you just got new tires and now they on flat. You just got a new engine and it started knocking immediately after you leave the place. You just put all your money into this house that God told you not to buy, and as soon as you move in, it's falling apart. You thought you got one off by cheating on your spouse, and you didn't brought home something you can't never get rid of. And it ain't gonna be no way to hide it. You said as in demonic, of relating to or worthy of an evil spirit or possessed or influenced by demon. Hold on, niece. We about to get there. Huh? Like the demoniac? Huh? The demoniac was possessed by a demon, was he not? He was tormented. So much so that he started to cut himself and would attack others. But it was something that he was holding on to. He opened himself up to demonic oppression. Even the demoniac, look here, he had to do something. Because demons just can't enter your body. They can only enter if they have a key. And the key is disobedience, sin, witchcraft, fornication, lying, stealing. Hello. Hello. So as soon as God took his spirit away from Saul, the demons that he hadn't been able to see, that were there all the time, causing him, hold on, to disobey God, now they torment me. Because for it to be instant, they had to already be there. Well, we know they was already there because they were the ones telling Saul not to listen and do what God told him to do. Hello? God said, you don't even know I've been holding mental illness off of you. Huh? I've been holding mental illness back from you. But since you don't want your thinking to be clear, since you want to keep thinking evil thoughts and how you gonna hurt somebody and how you can manipulate somebody, how about your mind not be okay all the time? Huh? Huh? Because how do you just develop mental illness out of nowhere and you didn't have it? Tell me. What happened? What changed? And I'm not talking about in children. I'm talking about in full-grown adults that have been perfectly fine mentally, and then what happened? Because again, what we wrote down earlier, why did he take it from you? What did he tell you to get rid of, to let go, and you didn't? You said, "CERCA, you're not about to make me cry because I never know how this happened to me." Listen, but think about it. Saul was not being tormented by demons. At first, he was being influenced by them. But because he kept allowing himself to be influenced by demons, by evil spirits, God removed his spirit, and those same demons that influenced him to disobey God were the same demons that tormented him for the rest of his life. He had to open up his mind to evil spirits, to believe what the Spirit says, because he believed the spirits over God's word, God's ways, and God's voice. So God said, oh, okay, you want to listen to them more than you want to listen to me? Well, then I'm going to just move around. You said speaking directly to, hello? Because if you keep making the wrong choices, who you listening to? If God warns you, and he don't just send one warning. Listen. Do you understand? He wasn't conflicted. You know when you're doing something God told you not to do. Stop it. I can't even take that one. No, he wasn't conflicted. You know absolutely when you're doing something that God don't want you to do. Period. Because God will tell you, and then you start second guessing. No, he wasn't conflicted. He knew exactly what he was doing. How many? Come on. No. Mm-mm. He wasn't conflicted about not knowing who he was hearing. No. Because he already knew God's laws. He had a prophet there telling him, don't do this. God don't want you to do. How was he conflicted? He chose. He chose to listen to demons and said, God said, okay, then I'm not going to talk to you no more. And now you're going to have to deal with them tormenting you in your mind. No, 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 no. He knew. He had prophets on tap. You said mental illness is a chemical imbalance that can show up later in life due to life experiences, like demons entering your body. Demons come through trauma, hurt, pain, all the dark stuff. So, yeah, and they're parasites. That would make your chemical imbalance be off. Hello, something is siphoning all of your energy and all of, oh, okay. Doctors are only repeating what God said. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Hello. And when you open yourself up to sin and doing whatever you want to do, you open yourself up to demonic oppression and possession. Period. Somebody move in your house and ain't paying no bills, you going to be paying the bill for it too. And your stuff going to start to be depleted too. And I'm sure you're not going to be happy footing the bill for somebody that you never even said could come here. You open the door to them one time and now they won't leave. Oh, okay, it's the same thing. The chemical imbalance, exactly. You listen to something God told you not to do, and them demons said, oh, we moving right on in. They don't want to think right. Well, they don't never have to think right. Hello. According to whose standard? You don't have to be living wrong for it to happen. Well, God says if you renewing your mind every day, you're going to be sound in your mind. So you can't be sound in your mind and mentally ill at the same time. So something's going on. Because if you judging you living wrong according to man's standards, no, you may not be. But are you living right according to God's standards? And if you're not, then that's how the spirits would be able to get in, because it's sin not to listen to God and live the way He's telling you to live, according to His standards, not people's. Hello. Let's go. Anyway. All right. It says, and brought upon him such suffocations as were ready to choke him. Okay. So as soon as God removes the favor from your life, the same demons that told you not to listen to God start to choke out the things that God put in your life, the breath of your life. Hold on. You used to be speaking for God and using the breath to edify God and to worship God and to praise God and to tell people. And now you can barely get your breath because the demons are stealing it. As soon as God took his spirit from Saul, demons were tormenting him day and night. He would start hearing things and seeing things, and all of us, oh, wait a minute, hold on. But Saul, all this time, you've been sound mind. But he kept wanting to think the wrong things. And then he started acting on the wrong thoughts. And God said, oh, you like the wrong things. Well, do you know who the fathers of the wrong things are? They bring death, destruction, sadness, pain. Okay? When you keep listening to the wrong thoughts, which we know come from Lucifer and his brothers and their children, God said, well, should I even keep talking to you? Because no matter what I say, you're going to do what you want to do. However many times you want to do it, and then expect me to be okay with it. He said, I'd rather not. Or as our grandparents used to say, you done got a little big for your britches. You smelling yourself. Now you can't listen to me, and I'm the one that got you to this situation in the first. I'm the person that got you this far. Now you don't have to listen. How many times when people stop listening to, and I'm not saying all parents, but whoever the guiding force in your life was that did teach you good things, what happened when you stopped listening to them? Tell me. Were you tormented? Were you in life or death situations? Were you now in situations that you wish you wouldn't have walked into? Grandma tell you don't leave, you leave. Mama tell you don't leave. Right, right, D. Huh? They tell you don't date this person because you don't really know them. They tell you don't take that job because they knew somebody, and you say that ain't me and I'm about to. And now, because you didn't listen and obey direction. Listen, a hard head makes a soft behind. It sure do. And then you allow spirits in your life to torment you, and you don't think they're going to throw it in your face that you didn't do what God told you to do. That's who be beating you up with it. Sometimes it's you, but most times it's them. They the ones tricked you in to not listening to God. And then once you don't, and if God wash his hands of you, oh, they like, yep, you had an opportunity to listen and you listen to us. They the whole ones got you not to listen to God. Because they want you to be tormented. They want you to be sad. They want you to not have clear thoughts. They want you to be mentally ill. And tell you about your friends that they are a bad influence. Yep, auntie. You said when you get tired of running, you'll walk this part. You heard me? In real life. God is a good God, and he's always going to warn you before it's the last time. And whatever it is. And it ain't like he don't be and gave you a whole bunch of chances to get it right. You do not want to get to the place where Saul was. You're welcome, Pumpkin. Because Saul, if we would have kept reading, he thought he had another chance. But he didn't. That was God's last and final time of letting him slide. You never know when that's going to be. When he did it, you think he thought that he was about to lose every single thing? How many people, like I said, I just use relationships in general, slept with one person one time and didn't think they was about to lose everything. Maybe they didn't even really enjoy it. But God told them not to do it in the first place. And now they didn't have to bring a baby home to their spouse. Something else. Huh? One time. But then the spouse say, you know what? If you did it once, you'll do it again. And I don't have to come back to you because there's proof of your infidelity. So I'm going to leave. And now you don't even like this nigga. Or you be like, on one of the attachments and obsessions. Come on. And most times, you end up becoming the spouse that you did it to. Do you not? You don't know. You just put yourself in the role that you wasn't in. Huh? Because that person is then going to do multiplied to you what you did to your spouse maybe just once. Hey, Pumpkin, maybe just twice. Hey, Riz, you hear me? Maybe you slept out, once or twice. They got you on 200. Huh? You like, wait a minute. Yeah, right. But whatever you sow is going to be magnified back to you. It's going to come back multiplied and magnified. Bigger and more. Hello. So be careful of the seeds you sowing. You said, yep, and still try to keep eyes and monitor what you're doing. Listen, it'd be crazy. All right. Here we go, because I'm going to let y'all go after this. It says, and brought him upon him such suffocations as were ready to choke him, for which the physicians could find no other remedy but this, that if any person could charm those passions by singing and playing upon the harp, they advised them to inquire for such a one, and to observe when the demons came upon him and disturbed him, and to take care that such a person might stand over him and play upon the harp and recite hymns to him. So the doctors couldn't figure out why this nigga was mentally ill. They couldn't figure out why he was choking in his sleep, and there was no reason for it. And then they figured out, oh, because it's a spiritual sickness, it's a demonic illness. And the only way for these demons to not be able to torment Saul is for somebody that knows how to sing these songs. And they're going to have to stand up over him. You know what's really crazy? Don't the demons stand up over you when they scare you? You wake up, if you've ever experienced it, and they be standing over your bed. They be standing on the wall, but they be tall. And God sent somebody to, one, drive them away by worship, and two, because the favor of God was now on David, demons can't stay around the Spirit of God. They got to move. Yes or no? They be irritated. It's almost like the worship burns them, hurts their ears. Oh, okay. Hello. Demons want you to be vulnerable, but you know what worship does? It makes them vulnerable. It runs them like they try to run you. Huh? Like Moses at the rock. He didn't get another chance to go to the promised land. Exactly. A heat they can't bear. Come on, that Holy Ghost fire. Please don't get to the point where God starts removing things from you because he's giving you everything and you use it to slap him in his face. You use it to sin against him. You use it to draw people away from him. If he's giving you influence people to do the right stuff, to think correctly, to act correctly, to have self-control. If he is giving you a position of leadership, like at your job, do not ask God for peace and you dangling people's jobs in front of their face because you can. Or asking them to do stuff just because you the manager. Don't look for no peace at home. Don't look for any, because you can't get what you're not giving. Hello. How about you be the boss that everybody always remember about how understanding you were, and not lenient as in making you lazy, but you were an understanding boss. Then maybe God will give you your own business or elevate you at the place, or even take you to another place and give you more because you're trustworthy with what he gives you. Some people don't see stuff because they're not trustworthy with it. As soon as you would get it into your hands, you'll be trying to use it to manipulate people. I had a homeboy, he said he used to pray for money. God would give him the exact, and he don't pray for little money, he pray for big money. And see, he said every single time, God would give him the big chunk of money, or the business or whatever. Instantly, he said, I'm tricking off on hoes, I'm drinking more, I'm smoking more, I'm partying more, I'm not listening, or all I start thinking about is the money, and I don't be thinking about God. And he said, and I fall flat on my face every time, and the business has to go away, the money has to go away, the idea doesn't go, because God already knew what you was gonna do. You get in this position, you start talking crazy to people, puffing your chest out. And he older than me, so if that gives you any inkling, he's not a young person. Okay? And I've seen it happen several times, and I'm not putting his business out there because this is the testimony he tells himself. It's a real thing that God can keep giving you chances to be the correct type of influencer, the right type of boss, the right type of spouse, the right type of parent. And if you just don't want to, he can. It's just like moms and dads that don't want to be moms and dads, and they don't want to treat their children right, or they abandon them, or whatever else. You said your spirit will draw people or drive them away. It's a real thing. Well, God will send a dad that loves on them and truly does value that child, or a mom that truly does value that child. Not a parent that didn't want to do nothing, want to act crazy and act like they care. But stop. You don't. You just mad because now I'm not struggling without you. And there's somebody here to do what you don't want to do because you liked us being in a state of confusion, in a state of sadness, in a state of despair that made you feel good. But God comforts folks like that. Come on. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. You hear me? And they'll love on you, and then they be mad because they crazy girl. He said like Moses. Oh, I read that one. Yep. Don't be a Saul. Figure out which situation you've been in. Okay. Where you was disobedient at, because you don't want God to take the things you said. Listen, it's a real thing, baby girl. Literally know someone who is dealing with this. It's real. When you anything that you give, that God gives you, if you take it and use it to hurt, deceive, any of that, he gonna take it. If you use it for selfish gain and don't bless nobody else, he's going to take it. I'm telling you. You said it's much appreciation when God uses me to influence people, save them from mistakes. Exactly. Exactly. So don't be Saul, because God gave him more than enough chances, and he I'm gonna keep doing whatever I want to do. I'm gonna do, okay, God didn't say do it, but I'm gonna still do it. I'm gonna still keep going in my wrong way. God said, well, go run on, right on. See how much you sleep peacefully in your wrong now, baby, because I know when, honey, that sleep, how long you live, you can't be real productive if you don't get a lot of sleep. Maybe in the beginning, but go 2, 3, 4, 5 years and you ain't slept well in 5 years. Your body is starting to break down. And that's what happens. When you listen to the enemy, he gonna take your sleep, he gonna take your appetite, he gonna take your pure thoughts. He gonna, man, listen, I don't want no parts of it. You said this live has been the lunch I needed. Well, I'm happy. I'm about to go. I'm gonna let y'all go. I might get back on here later. I'm about to go and eat me some of that good old Rotel taco stuff I made last night. And call y'all niece back and see what she want. Probably to let me talk to Emu. That's probably what it is, but and she might not answer because she might have an attitude because I fussed at her on my phone, but it'll be okay. She'll love me tomorrow. So y'all love me. I'll be fussing at y'all today, and y'all come back tomorrow. That's how we do it around here. We family for real. He said, man, I feel off. One, after one night of bad sleep, I couldn't even fathom 5 years. Yeah. It's people that ain't slept good in years. But they don't realize the reason they ain't slept good is because they won't listen. Because I know for a fact, baby, for about 3.5 years, baby, I didn't sleep. Nigga had to sleep with one eye open. You hear me? Baby, I was not getting no rest. Every once in a while. But, honey, I had to sleep with one eye open, one ear uncovered, nigga, and one leg and one arm out the cover, just in case I got the fight up out. Listen, ain't nobody got time for that. And then was tormented by the words and no. Nope, I don't want it. I love y'all. I'm about to go. You said this has been so good. Thank you. Sorry I wasn't active much in class. I've been working. Girl, you know y'all all right. It's the middle of the day. Y'all at work. That's why we do this right now. That way you can listen and come back and y'all be all right. Y'all be driving and taking care of the kids and everything. I get it. And that's why we record it. So you could, come back. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.